Hey, welcome back. We're doing something a little different today. I wanted to do a little bit of a collection video in a specific way, so we're going to be looking at all of the Mario/Super Mario games that I own. By my count, that is over 50 of them. There might be some duplicates in here. There might be some games that aren't called a Mario isn't in the title, but I think that they're a Mario game. Anyway, we'll kind of tour around here in my studio space and we're going to start with the Nintendo Switch games that I have. In terms of boxed Mario games, it looks like I have about 14 of them here. So let's start off with Mario Golf Super Rush. I like a Mario Golf game. I do. This one is a little different. It leans more heavily into like the power-ups, and it's not like you can play it as a strict golf game, but it ends up being more of a party golf game, if that's a thing. I don't know. I haven't played like Hot Shots or stuff like that, but I liked Mario Golf Super Rush enough. And Steve, did you like Mario Golf Super Rush? Yeah? I liked it enough. Another game that needs no explanation, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Fantastic game, played it dozens and dozens of hours. And has the most tracks of any Super Mario Kart game that exists. 96 tracks, if you include all the expansion pack tracks. That's insane. That's an amazing list of tracks. Now, they're not all the same quality. Sure, the DLC ones, sometimes they're hit and miss on the quality. But I liked most of them. They're pretty good. And just an amazing game all around. So looking forward to seeing what the next Mario Kart might look like. Mario Party Superstars. I didn't pick up what was it called? Super Mario Party. Right. I didn't pick that one up. I heard okay things about it. And this one's, it's similar, but it's got, I think, 5 maps, and that's pretty good. Hey, Steve, do you want to help me out here? Yeah? Okay. We're going to talk about how good the Mario Party series is. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah. And, I'm looking forward to the new one they just announced, Mario Party Jamboree. Looks like kind of an online functionality with a bigger lobby, which seems wild and really cool. But yeah, this was a fun one. Next, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, a Ubisoft published game. And I liked this one, and I liked the next one, Sparks of Hope. Both of these games were really good. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope kind of expands on Kingdom Battle, but Kingdom Battle was good too. I never expected there to be a Mario-themed XCOM game, and that's kind of what these are. They're turn-based, tactical, strategic combat games, but there's a lot of character and charm to them. The characters are really expressive, and it's a lot of fun to see them in weird situations with the Rabbids and the weird enemies and, different adversaries that they face. So I would check them out if you like a not so hardcore, but still a fun tactical combat game. Ooh, Mario Tennis Aces. Might not be for everybody, but I've really enjoyed Mario Tennis Aces. The combat, it's not combat, it's a game. The tennis gameplay is more like a fighting game. You have to watch the other team, the other players or teams like meter. Do they have enough super meter to pull off a save or a move, like a dive or like a special move. So it's kind of a balance and a dance of like you have that meter to work with, you have a bunch of different moves at your disposal, your basic tennis shots, but yeah, it ends up feeling more like a fighting game. And I did this online for this a while, and yeah, people got really good at that game, as they do every game. And I didn't keep up with it, but it was a lot of fun. I really liked Mario Tennis Aces. All right, new Super New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. Why this is on the Switch? I mean, I know why. I mean, it's like no one bought it on the Wii U, but it's fine. It's a decent Mario game. I played through it once, I think, and it's what you'd expect. This does include Super Luigi U. Sorry, New Super Luigi U. It does include that and a base game. It's fun. It's what you'd expect, and up to 4 players. It's a multiplayer game, so yeah, I would, if you ever found it on sale, pick it up, but maybe not the first choice for a Mario game on Switch or any platform. All right, next up, Paper Mario, the Origami King. Maybe not everyone's favorite Paper Mario. Had not played one in quite a while, and I'm looking forward to checking out Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake on Switch. But I really like this one. I mean, it does a weird kind of combat it's like a puzzle combat. You have these rings you gotta spin around. It's not what you'd expect for a Paper Mario game in terms of combat. But I think that it worked well, and there's lots of different combinations of enemies. There's a whole bunch of different moves and items and weapons and characters, and I mean the characters are what makes these games, and they're all charming and funny, and yeah, I really liked Paper Mario Origami King. Oh yeah, and the 1,000-fold arms. There are ways that the environment will either fold out or fold in or transform to allow you to progress or change your puzzle or whatever it is you're up to in that game. And speaking of Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, this is up on my list next up for when I'm playing on Switch. Well, there's a lot of things I want to play on Switch, but this is high up on the list. I never played the original, or if I did, I only played a little bit of it. I don't think I ever owned it. But I do want to play this because I've heard it's just one of the best Paper Mario RPGs in general. So I will be getting to that one. Oh, how could we forget? Super Mario 3D All-Stars. You can't buy it anymore. I'm very glad I have a copy. And it's very nice to have all 3 of these games in one place. Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. I enjoy all of these games. Some more than others, but I mean, Galaxy is one of the top games for me. But you can't go wrong with Mario 64. Sunshine, if you're in the mood for that, it's good. Very different, in terms of what it offers. But I really love Galaxy as well. And speaking of games that I love, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. Bowser's Fury is just the icing on the cake. I mean, that's just an amazing mini adventure into itself. 3D World has got to be the most jam-packed celebration of Mario things that I can think of. It ties in all kinds of things, adds so many new things like new power-ups. You got the double cherry, you got the I don't know what else did they add for this game. I'm trying to think what's new. The clear pipes, the cat suit, there's also so much returning content, but then they add so much to it, and it's just chock full of Mario goodness. So definitely one to check out. One of my favorites. One of my favorite Mario titles in general. Now, Super Mario Brothers Wonder. And this is the Japanese version that I picked up in Kyoto. I played this soon after it came out, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder defies your expectations at every turn. And it's, at the core, just a Mario platformer. But you're doing so many weird things level to level that you'd never expect. And I loved it. Yeah, it's a game I might not play all the time or revisit all the time, because it is so every level is such a different thing. Every level has a gimmick, and every level has some weird transformation that happens, or some unique element that it's a lot like a Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze or Donkey Kong Country Returns, where there's unique things that are specific to that level. And it's great. I think this is a great direction for 2D Mario. We've done enough new Super Mario Brothers. I think we can be thankful that there's this and hopefully something down the line for 2D Mario games. But yeah, Mario Brothers Wonder is great. And what else can you say about Super Mario Odyssey? Just a fantastic game. Nails the core like Mario platforming in 3D. But then you have Cappy, and Cappy allows you to do a lot of, like I was talking about with Wonder, just so many weird things, like become, all the enemies, possess, parts of the environment, or like, a zipper that opens up a little passageway that you can then go into, and that's just like that's like the simplest thing I can think of, but it's also the most tame thing you can think of. You control like the bosses, or like the Cappy as a tool, Cappy as like a method of getting around in terms of platforming, changing up your gameplay style. I don't know what you do after Odyssey. I mean, they did Bowser's Fury, and that was kind of a different thing. But yeah, what do you do after Odyssey? I'm really looking forward to seeing what Nintendo comes up with for the next Switch system, I would presume, and what they're going to do with the next 3D Mario installment. Last one on Switch, that at least I have physically, is Super Mario RPG, the remake that came out last year. It's just a fantastic game. This is where Mario RPG started. And I really loved playing the one on Super Nintendo back in the day. This remake is super faithful, almost to a fault. They've replicated the Super Nintendo game almost exactly. But it looks great. The sound is amazing. The rearrangements of all the music is just incredible. And it's a very, basic RPG. It's not too complicated, but it doesn't need to be. It's a Mario RPG. It's like, you can have some RPG elements, but again, the focus, like we've talked about with all these other Mario RPGs, is the characters, and the dialogue is really funny. It's just really a great time. Doesn't waste your time. It's maybe a 10 to 12 hour adventure. It gets in and gets out, and I had a good time with it. But I think that's all we're sticking with physical copies of games. So that's the Switch games that I have. And now we're going to scoot over here, and we're going to check out. Over here we have my Wii games, Wii U, 3DS. If you look over here, some other boxed copies of games of various systems. So we're going to get into some of these here. Game we've already talked about. Super Mario 3D World for the Wii U. A game that I have not played. Paper Mario Color Splash. Did not hear great things about this one. I don't know if I'll ever play it. I think I found it really cheap. So if I ever run out of Paper Mario games to play, maybe I'll play this one. The original Mario Kart 8 for Wii U. This was such fun at the time. I didn't know they were going to keep adding to it like they have with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But Mario Kart 8 was a lot of fun. It was not the reason I picked up a Wii U. And I don't have a copy of the reason I picked up the Wii U, because I bought the Wii U when it was packed in with Super Mario Maker. But Mario Kart 8 was a no-brainer to pick up. For the Wii, of course, Super Mario Galaxy. Can't say enough good things about it. This is a hefty... Wow. I'm just feeling the weight of this thing, because this manual is so hefty. Is it in like 3 languages? Yeah. A lot of Wii games had like the full color manual in 3 languages. So it's like, I don't know, 60 plus pages. It's really hefty. That's nice. And then you got new Super Mario Brothers Wii. And I played this front to back in one sitting on a stream one time. Again, it's fine. It's good. You know, it's a Mario platformer. You can't go wrong with it. It's got, you know, the new power-ups they added, the propeller, the ice power-up, the penguin suit. You know, those were fun. Those were good. And they, you know, obviously there's some good, interesting ideas in here. I mean, this or New Super Mario Bros. U, they're both good. Like them both. Alright, now, 3DS games. Super Mario Maker for 3DS, it does work amazingly well. I haven't played a ton of this. I played, I think, the Super Mario Challenge, which has 100 new, like, unique courses to play. I think I played the whole thing. But yeah, making levels works pretty well with the touchscreen. You got the stylus. Makes perfect sense. This came after Mario Maker on Wii U. No, I guess I don't have Mario Maker 2 physical. I have played a bit of Super Mario Maker 2. Also a great game. This is kind of unique. It's maybe not the ideal Mario Maker experience, but it's great that they can make it work on the 3DS on such a small screen, and yeah, allowed a lot more people to experience what Mario Maker was. Okay, a game that I speedran for a time, Super Mario 3D Land. Now this is a good game. Like, not quite as good as 3D World, but Super Mario 3D Land, a surprising amount of depth. You've got a full, 8 worlds. You've got special, a whole like second campaign basically that remixes the entire game, similar to what they do with like Mario Galaxy. So they have totally different levels. The special worlds and levels are totally different. But it's just so satisfying, and the 3D effect really does work well with this game for spacing out your jumps, really being able to tell how far away you are from things. Because it is hard sometimes in 3D platforming games to know and judge distance. So the 3D effect actually it's one of the games where I would say play it with 3D on. Not every one of these 3DS games is like, oh, you need the 3D for this, but I think it really works well. So, it's a very good game. A game I have not played, New Super Mario Bros. 2. This I heard was probably the weakest of all the New Super Mario Bros. Games. I'm sure it's fine. There is such a heavy emphasis in this game of collecting coins. And that's fine, but it seems like, why? Why is that the focus? They just didn't have anything better to add to this game. It's just like, just throw coins everywhere. Just shower the whole screen in coins. And it's like, okay, that's fine, I guess. I mean, it's all over the cover. There's coins everywhere. There's a coin suit, I guess. Or you turn gold, you can shoot coins instead of fireballs. It's a choice. Yeah. Maybe I'll play it one day. I don't know when. A game that I've heard I should pick up and play, and now that there's another one on the way from this series, Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey. I've started this one, and I think it's doing really cool things, and I'd like to pick it up and keep playing it and finish it. I just haven't gotten there yet, but yeah, Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story. I've heard nothing but good things about that. Another game I played a bunch, Mario Kart 7. Did online games and matches with people when I was streaming more regularly. People still playing this game. Not anymore, I guess, because they did shut down 3DS and Wii U servers. But then again, you can still play Mario Kart Wii online, so I'm sure people are figuring out a way to play this online. This game, I didn't play this game until like a couple years ago, but after playing so much of Mario Kart 8, it's like, how much of this game is in Mario Kart 8? Like, Mario Kart 8 is just an extension of this game. You got the gliders, you got the airborne sections. It's very similar to Mario Kart 8, so not a bad game for any stretch of the imagination. Let's see. Another Mario Golf game, Mario Golf World Tour. I didn't really play this one, and now that I'm thinking about Mario Golf, I realize I didn't grab all the. I've got a couple Mario games for GameCube that I didn't pick up, so we'll go back over and look at those. I like booted this up. I didn't really play much of it. It'd be nice to have a Mario Golf game on the go, but now I have Mario Golf Super Rush, so this came prior to that, obviously. But yeah, I would check this out at some point. I do like a Mario Golf game. Now, this is where the disputes might start. Yoshi's New Island is not a Mario game, exactly. But then again, the lineage of Yoshi's Island dates back to Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. And you don't play as Mario. You don't do Mario things. But, like, that's the DNA, I think, is, like, there's Mario platforming DNA in this game. I mean, this game is Super Mario World 2. It's a weird take, and evolution of Super Mario World. You still have Yoshi, and Mario is a baby, and he's on your back. But, I mean, I think these qualify. I don't know. I haven't played New Island. I think they qualify. It's a Mario-esque game, whether you're playing as Yoshi or not. I mean, Mario is in the game. I think that's indisputable. Okay, those are the Wii U, Wii games, 3DS games, one bonus Super Nintendo game. Let's go back over here. I've missed a few. Mario Kart Double Dash. Maybe they'll bring this back. This is the only game where you can play 2 players on a single cart. 2 players, 1 cart. I think that's really, really a great idea, and they never did anything more with that. I don't know why. Like, there's never been another mode or like another way to do that. And it's a really interesting dynamic because the way the cart handles depends on who's driving. Responsibility of using your items comes to the person who's not driving, and each player or each character on each cart, and when there's 2, you're holding 2 different items. So if one character has an item that you want to use but they're driving, you got to switch. The other person's got to drive, and the other player will need to use their item. It's a really interesting dynamic that I think they should probably bring back. Like, it'd be really cool to have this as an option in, say, Mario Kart 9. Mario Golf Toadstool Tour. Honestly, I think I remember this one the most fondly. I'm not sure what kind of gimmicks and modes they added. Isn't perfect, but I think it does a lot of things right in terms of getting like the arcadey golf mechanics down. And then, of course, Super Mario Sunshine. It's a detour in terms of the 3D platforming Mario games. Mario Sunshine, yeah, it's different. You gotta use FLUDD. You gotta get used to using FLUDD. Your little jetpack, backpack, water jet thing where you can either like hover or shoot it or spray it everywhere. It's a very interesting choice that they made. And I think it works okay. It's not my favorite 3D Mario game. The vibe is immaculate, being an island theme. Yes, Super Mario Sunshine is kind of the odd duck out in terms of 3D Mario games. It's the least traditional, and it's got the greatest, kind of vibe. Like, it's island time, you're just going to different parts of the island and checking out the sandy beaches and the theme park and the hotel. It's maybe not my favorite, but I've had a good time with it the few times that I have played it. Okay, that's those GameCube games. All right, I think we're moving. We're moving over here. We're gonna move all the way around. So we're gonna pan around, and actually we're gonna stop here. You gonna help me more? Hi. So we're going to quickly do some of these games that I don't have a physical box for, but I do have a physical copy of. So let's see what we have here. Okay, so I have a backup copy of Mario Galaxy. Can't have too many. I've got a copy of Super Mario Galaxy 2. Probably the better game. You know, Mario Galaxy was like a revelation when it came out. I think Mario Galaxy 2 is probably a better game with more interesting mechanics. You got Yoshi. Yoshi has a lot of weird, interesting uses. And just, I don't know, they really went all out with Mario Galaxy 2. Hi, you saying hi to the people at home? You saying hi to people at home? You don't need to do that. There were quite a number of Super Nintendo and Super Famicom games that featured Mario. Don't have any of the fun ones like Mario's Picross, but let's see. First here we got Super Mario Kart. It's where the series started, so it's important. I don't know if it's the most fun game in the series, but I definitely had fun with it as a kid. You know, Super Mario Kart is fine. It's good. Important for sure, but maybe not a game I revisit a lot. Let's see. Loose copy of Yoshi's Island. I still think this counts. Stand by it. Super Mario World, of course. Definitely defined what 2D Mario was going to be for a while. After this, there wasn't really a 2D Mario game on a console. There were some for handhelds. You know, handhelds is where 2D Mario lived. But after this, on consoles, Mario was in 3D. That was it. So this is like the last, iteration of 2D Mario on a console until you get to New Super Mario Brothers Wii on the Wii. As far as I can think of. Yeah, I mean, what else can you say about Super Mario World that hasn't been said? I mean, it's a fantastic game. It's not a perfect game, but it was super fun. You know, the evolution from even Mario Brothers 3 on the NES, which is just a landmark game in and of itself. This game lets you fly. This game lets you, I mean, you can fly in Mario Brothers 3, but the cape, you can swoop and dive, and that is still just iconic to this day. With the secret world, the special world, Super Mario All-Stars. It's just called Super Mario All-Stars. Right. And this is, of course, Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, 3, the Japanese version of Mario Brothers 2. So you have 4 games on this cartridge. A great way to experience those games because they're kind of redone graphically, and the visuals and the sound are improved, and in terms of quality, in terms of fidelity. Here's Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, full title from the Super Nintendo. We already talked about the remake of Super Mario RPG. We've got Mario Paint. It's got Mario in the name. It's a painting mini-game collection kind of thing. It's a weird game. I mean, it's different. You can paint, you can create things, you can play the fly swatting mini-game. It's got it all. I haven't played it in a long time. I do have a Super Nintendo mouse lying around here somewhere. Haven't played Mario Paint in quite a while. Alright, here's some redundancies. Super Mario RPG, Japanese version. Got, what does this say? Super Mario Collection. Super Mario Collection, Japanese copy. That is Super Mario All-Stars that we talked about earlier. This is just a Japanese copy of Super Mario World. Right thing? Super Mario World. Another copy of Yoshi's Island. A lot of duplicates here, but a loose copy of Super Famicom, Yoshi's Island, and Super Mario Kart, Japanese copy. why not have both, you know? Why not have both? I should have picked up more like loose copies of things in Japan because they were so cheap. It was kind of unbelievable. Like this pristine like box copy of Yoshi's Island that I picked up in Kyoto. You know, this came out 30 years ago, roughly. I forget the year, but you know, a 30-year-old game. Everything in here is like pristine. There's like an ad for some other game. There's the manual. There's just like very little wear on it. They just take really good care of their games, I guess. You know, and the box looks immaculate. The game itself is, maybe the store did this, but it's in shrink wrap still. I think maybe the game comes with this when you bought it. This might be the original like kind of plastic wrap. Yeah, it's amazing. So and God, I probably paid, I don't know, upwards of 2,000 yen for this. And see, us Americans, we would just, if it doesn't quite fit just right, just shove it back in there. Fits neatly. The box is just in perfect condition. There's like a little bit of bent here, but you can't really tell. It's amazing. Should have picked up more. I had a little limited on bag space coming home. But maybe next time, if there is a next time that I go to Japan. Alright, Game Boy games. First one, Game Boy Color, Super Mario Brothers Deluxe. Now this one is interesting because it's a portable version of Super Mario Brothers for NES. I think like every re-release of this game, they include like the arcade version of Mario Brothers. You know, for whatever reason, they just have to throw that ROM on every single cartridge that they put out. But this is interesting. It's also kind of weird because when you play this game, it's kind of cropped in a weird way because the resolution isn't quite the same as the NES, so your field of view is a little smaller. It's a little harder to do anything. Like, if you know the game and you know it's coming, like, good, because you might not see it coming. Either you're too high up to see the ground, or you don't see enough, or, you know, far in front of you. It's cool that they did this, and I think they, like, remixed some of the music, or, like, they touched it up. But it's also a kind of a funky, like, weird version of Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario Land 2, right? This is a Japanese copy of Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. And I think I have... No, that's the only copy I have of that. Not that I need to read Japanese to play that game. But that's a good one, too. We've got Dr. Mario for Game Boy. Again, it's got Mario in the name. It's a puzzle game. It's not the same. It's not exactly a Mario platformer. You know, it's not like that, but you know, it does have Mario in the name, and there's Mario right there. Dr. Mario is canon. He's in Smash. What else can you say? Super Mario Land. Again, it's an admirable attempt at making a Mario platformer. I've played some of it, I think. I haven't finished this game, but you know, it's cool. It's different. Mario is tiny, which I guess makes sense because, like, we were talking about Super Mario Brothers Deluxe. Deluxe, it looks just like the NES game, but it's got to be cropped and shrunk to fit on the screen. This was designed with Game Boy in mind, and yeah, Mario is tiny, but it does work, and it's like readable, and you can see everything coming, and yeah, it works. So, not a bad game. Now, this game is Donkey Kong, but you play as Mario. Of course, in Donkey Kong, you usually, well, the original Donkey Kong game, you play as Mario, and this game is just an extravaganza of Mario platforming and puzzle solving, and it's just fantastic. I mean, I think I did play this game front to back on a stream. I think I have a VOD of that. And yeah, it's just a fantastic game. Like, the things that are in this game are brought into so many other different kinds of Mario games that come after this. The platforming mechanics, the puzzle mechanics. I mean, they did release Mario vs. Donkey Kong on the Switch, which is a later edition of this kind of game. Same thing, where you're trying to platform and find keys and puzzles and items. It's just a great game. I don't know what else to say. It's a Mario game, even though it's called Donkey Kong. Okay. Last but not least, the Nintendo 64. Alright. We've got Mario Golf. The original Mario Golf. At least I'm pretty sure this was the first one. There were other ones, I guess, then on Game Boy Color. And maybe Advance. But Mario Golf, I mean, I enjoyed this one, for sure. Me, a Mario Golf enjoyer, did enjoy this game. Haven't played it in a long time. We've got Mario Kart 64. This is probably the defining Mario Kart for a lot of people of my generation and my age group. So many people that I know just grew up playing this game. And it does hold up. It handles so differently than basically any other Mario Kart game. Still fun. I don't have like the muscle memory for it anymore, but it's still fun. It's good. Good for a crowd. Good for a multiplayer session. We've got the first edition of Mario Tennis. And I loved this game as a kid. Like, this doesn't have my name on it, but I definitely had this as a kid. I love playing tennis. I play tennis with my family. So it was a pastime. But then I got this and I was like, oh, this is great. It's not like Mario Tennis Aces, where there's so many layers on top of the tennis gameplay, but this one, I would still play this, because this is a lot of fun. It's what you'd want from a tennis game, and it nails it really well. Hi, Thane, you're back. You're back. Hello. I've got my original copy of Paper Mario. Haven't played this in quite a while either. It's on the Nintendo Switch online service at this point. And I remember enjoying it a lot. I again haven't picked it up in quite a while, but you know, to start a series, this really did a great job. Paper Mario, and then the Thousand Year Door, and then everything after that. But I don't know why I don't have it here, because I definitely have it. I've played it. Is Super Paper Mario for the Wii. And that was a great game. I don't know why I can't find it. I did not do any prior... I only just got all these games out from where they live. But maybe that copy is somewhere. Super Paper Mario is a lot of fun too. With the twisting into the 3D space. I thought it was really cool. It's a gimmick, and I think they did a good job with like incorporating it into the game. So anyway... Whether it's Paper Mario or Thousand Year Door or Super Paper Mario or hell, even Origami King. There's a lot of good options for Paper Mario fans. We've of course got Super Mario 64, and I guess I should talk about this game because it's so important, and it's a game that I don't play a ton of now. Of course, it defines what 3D platforming could be at the time. Yeah, I just. It was something that I enjoyed as a kid, and I don't revisit it a ton. I don't come back to it a lot. I probably should play the 3D All-Stars version of it. Because that version looks really nice on the Switch. But yeah, of course, you gotta have Super Mario 64. And then we've got more... I thought I had all three, but you've got Mario Party 1... and Mario Party 2. And then Mario Party 3, I don't think I have it, but these are the games that they drew from in terms of Super Mario Superstars for the Switch. They reused some of these levels and maps and boards for that game. They just took some of these existing levels and reworked them into a more modern style, and they look nice in Superstars. But yeah, people, I remember playing Mario Party at friends' houses and Mario Party 2. Like, it was just, there hadn't been a game like this prior to this, and then of course this became like a very regular offering from Nintendo. Mario Party 8, Mario Party 9, Mario Party 10. Like, they just kept pumping these out. At the time when these came out, it was pretty novel. And then maybe it kind of fell off, but still good games. Very, very fun. Great for a get together. Gosh, I think that's all the Mario games that I have on hand. If you were counting, then you'll know I had this many. I wasn't counting, but hopefully you were. Wow, yeah, it's a lot of Mario, for sure. There's a lot of Mario games here. This is the only series where I think I have, like, in the dozens of the number of games. I mean, Zelda games, there's many of them, but there are only so many of them. Let me know what your favorite Mario game is in the comments. Thanks for watching this. Hopefully you got a little peek at my collection and, things that I've got strewn around. If you have any questions, just throw them in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. You did too, Steve? I did too. I mean, it's honestly more of a fighting game. Steve, why are you chomping on my phone? Steven, why are you chomping on the phone? That's not necessary. Oh, I think he just wants some attention. We'll have some snuggle time later, Steve. Don't worry. He's just chomping on whatever. But no, I really enjoy Mario Tennis Aces.